That's right. Okay. It should be pretty fun when we get him low. He parry you. Yeah, that's my fault for I find it difficult to parry when it's stoppable. Or when I'm unstoppable. Okay, this should... Hey Lee, how's it going? That Agent Venom is gonna... I think we do Nimrod again for this one. Hey Jason. I'm pretty sure we lost this one. We just had... There were a couple ugly things early, maybe some fatigue, I don't know, but several uncharacteristic deaths all at once, and it just got away from us early. I haven't checked the final score, but I don't think there was much hope of them dying 3 times near the end. How about you? Legion. Man, even a 4-star Omega Red with Coagulate would be shredding this fight, and it's so scary for me. But that's okay, that's why we bring expendable backups. And I should be going to the special 3 just because it doesn't trigger the static shock. Only 5 fights? Nice. Congrats on the win. It feels like special 3s are landing me closer to the opponent. I lost my invulnerability boost last night in War based on exactly that. Okay. You did fine. Nimrod will finish that up. That's awesome, Lee. Who are you using for Bishop? I'm guessing Red Hulk. Hey, Eduardo. Oh, come on. I know I gave it the input for that last attack before the special one. Oh well. There is no way that would not have won it right there if we had the energy vulnerability. I fully expect, outside of like tier 1 Lee, I my policy is to just stop questioning, or even just outside of Master, my policy is basically to stop questioning what looks like obscenely high death totals, because you have to remember those one loyalty revives exist. And what that basically means is that if you know you've lost, you don't expect attack bonus to make the difference for the season. And therefore, all you have to do is complete the map, and it doesn't matter how many times you die. Then every single person, for the price of 15 loyalty, can die with all three of their champions from full health once, and then all three of their champions from 40% health 15 times. So it's high death counts really aren't going to shake me anytime soon. Hey, Stover. I think that Hitmonkey's a very solid attacker for Battlegrounds. Kind of depends on the meta and how high you have him, but yeah, he's very good. Yeah, because we had a couple opponents against us who I think where they normally place in Platinum 1, attack bonus isn't likely to make the difference on their season. And so because we were at like 140 attacker kills when we went to bed for the night in the US, and they were at like 20 kills, and then they woke up to us only having 10 fights left and like 4 deaths, and they had like that many deaths in their first 20 fights, I really think that they just gave up. Because we woke up to like 15 or 17 deaths from alliances that are capable of playing tighter than that. There are really only a few fights where it's like you have to worry if you don't get the solo. So it's like Bishop, or if you're using Nick Fury and you lose his first life, but you were kind of banking on the safety net, or like if you fight a Heimdall maybe, or if you need Torch's pre-fight and use it and then die. But short of that, most fights, why bother boosting? It'll be fine. I'll play around the AI. I have as many attempts at this with 40% health as I'm likely to need. And I think that's a good thing for war, I really do. Because that's, like, if you're going for the top ranks, you still use boosts, you still heal up, you don't accept the little deaths, because you know your attack bonus is going to matter. But if you know it's not going to matter, and you know you've lost, you know the war is hopeless, then spending items because you worry that that's the only way you'll clear the map is really miserable. And so I think that this is a really good change. Oh, come on, please throw. Okay. Masacre or Elsa? That depends. I think Elsa in terms of overall speed, but it depends on the meta. Like, Masacre is better for Safeguard, even though Elsa's not bad for it. And Masacre can also do things like take down Penny Parker pretty efficiently that you're not going to get from Elsa. Like, I've taken down Doom with Masacre and felt fine about it. Elsa's not going to do that either. It kind of depends on context. Of course, he instantly throws it. Oh, that gives him the permanent aura because I hadn't thrown. I should have just thrown my special. That's frustrating. Alright, well, if we're gonna eat another one, then I'm gonna get this degen in. This is what, the fourth time we've taken this guy, and he's decided to just go into absolute overdrive on how rude he is. Hey, Nani. Oh my god. That's that we were so far back. Her special 3 does not gain her a lot of ground. Or oh, it was ours then his. That was never mind. Also feel I may have joined an alliance under where you should be, been averaging 10, 12 fights with box all season and not yeah. That it is hard to know where the right spot is for you sometimes, for sure. Yeah. And I think, especially in lower tiers, you run into a lot of people who just miss interactions. Or like a boost would save them, but it doesn't occur to them to think through, do I need the boosts here? Would a synergy do this? Oh god, they have 5 out of 5 points of Mystic Dispersion. That means I lose. Not, let me plan this fight so that I can win it when they have 5 points of Mystic Dispersion. What's the part of Mole Man's kit that's bugged? He should not be able to maintain true accuracy while he is in frenzy, period. People are going to come for me, and I'll just say, I'm really not interested in diagramming a sentence and debating English logic today. But I am very confident, and that is the problem. Is Nebula the best answer for Stunning Reflection Dragon Man? I don't think so. She's up there for sure. Because she just turns things off. I think the easiest is Spider-Man 2099 with the Anti-Venom synergy. Even without it, he can do it, but with the Anti-Venom synergy, you just start completely reversing that power gain. You're gaining power yourself from doing ruptures into block. That's the dream right there. I did it today with Massacre, which works quite well, but no, honestly, I'll just say it works quite well, but you just have to You have to know how to survive if he holds to his special three, is basically the problem. Because you probably won't get ignited before he potentially gains 3 bars. If he just refuses to throw the special one, the special two, any of that, absolutely refuses, no matter the fact that you're hitting his block as part of playing Masacre, no matter the fact that I threw heavy counters. He just waited, and I did have to survive and dance for a second around his unblockable. But then it was okay. And I had complete control of the fight after that point. Nebula works. I could see Elsa potentially working as well. She works for XL champions there. You do have the Mystic Dispersion problem, so it wouldn't be my first choice. He-Hulk can do it. Claire can definitely do it. Claire would be quite good. I think we've sent that before. But yeah, I think Miguel's probably the best if you have him. You died with She-Hulk today? Yeah, I mean, banking on the taunts does not sound super fun, and I also haven't checked her heavy counter. I don't know if she actually can counter his heavy, which would be my biggest worry there. Yeah, Claire is probably the easiest that I would expect everyone to have. Because you can nullify the power charge, quickly switch into Incinerate, and then you can parry him to remove it, and buff immunity is going to solve a lot of your potential problems. You do have to worry about Mystic Dispersion, you do have to worry about the global Mystic Dispersion, but like I think Claire's a pretty darn hard counter there. Sarah goes, I hi, for one thing, but it kind of feels like the one message of yours I can see is coming out of nowhere. Do you want to provide some more context to that? Whoops, I did not dash back. Dang it, thought the first hit would land. Oh well. Hey. Yeah, Eduardo, it's very significant. It's what effectively makes him skill Corvus without a synergy. And that's just a wee bit problematic. Well, this is going to be very annoying, but at least she has the armor break. Has Kabam said anything about King Groot being bugged? Yes, I believe it has been directly acknowledged as a bug that is not intended, even though the text changed. They're going to get to it. Oh, dang it, I did the thing. Need to explicitly tell myself not to hit block. Okay. We'll be okay, we'll be okay. But I am probably going to try and heal a little bit here. Alright. Bravo, Purgatory. That makes sense, Lee. There are definitely a fair number of people who play this game, and not to shame them at all, but there are a lot of people who play this game that just don't really engage with the larger community, that don't watch a lot of YouTube, um, that don't get into that mindset of thinking about ideal counters, about having explicit plans for every fight on the path, for having backup plans to try and make sure that you die if something goes sideways. I think a lot of people engage with this game the way a lot of people engage with like Halo or Counter-Strike or something, right? Where they just go in and is like, well, if I die, I die because something happened and that was a challenge, and when bad enough challenges show up, you lose. And like that's true, but I think some of us try a little bit harder to avoid that. Hey, Slay. Nice, Aaron. One death is good. I came so close to dying this war. Twice, unfortunately. One was player error, and one was myself as a planner. I forgot about something that was pretty darn important. Yeah, so Slay, a quick test. If you send Apocalypse to Doom on 55, what's the first thing that crosses your mind? Died to Thor Rags on Path 8 first section. Aw, sorry to hear that, man. Sounds good, Lee. I hope you find a good fit. It's the hard counter to everything. Not if you expect to win. Yeah, Timo, 545. It's coming along. Obviously, this fight's one of the easier ones. Yeah, these next two will be fine as well. I was hoping he'd run into that. Today's standards, my account's 3.1 million base rating, 12.5 prestige. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't take into account the base rating, honestly. Because at least at my level for the Alliance, we don't look at that at all. Because let's just do a quick check here. Yeah, my main account has lower base rating than yours. But there's also the prestige that mine has relative to yours, right? And like that's not an attack or anything, but that's exactly why we don't really look at base rating. Because it doesn't have significant relation to how much the account's going to help us. Yeah, prestige is definitely more important, and also think in terms of like how many rank 3s you have, how many rank 4s you have, how many rank 3s of each class. How many of them do you feel are particularly relevant for war offense, for war defense, versus just being more like fun rank ups for you? Um, that's the kind of thing that you want to think in terms of. How many gems do you have? Like, are you willing to spend them? What content are you going to complete next? That's what I like to hear from. Sorry if you heard that in the background. I was just adjusting the um, armrest on my chair. But that's what I like to hear from a new recruit is what's your plan for advancement? Like it's not just okay, well I'm 14 and a half K prestige right now, but I'll be 15K soon. Okay, how and why? Who is your next rank for? Who are you going to sig up? What content are you going to complete to get those catalysts? Are you planning on spending on July 4th? Is that part of it? Because the reason that I get so pointed about this and I want all those answers is that I've done the officer thing for long enough that I've run into a fair number of people whose answers to that are more along the lines of, well, all I have to do is pull Doctor Doom, and then if Kabam offers enough Sig Stones at the next counter, then my prestige will jump. And like, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough because you you don't really have a realistic plan for pulling Doom. It's just an if. You're probably opening basics for him. And if you're just waiting for, if you don't have the stones, the gems set aside, and you're waiting on almost entirely an event where a bunch of other people you're directly competing with are going to have access to the same ability to jump forward, then you're not really going to catch up. I know that's kind of a brutal thing to say, but it better to hear it now than to just not get an interview with an alliance and have them not tell you anything, right? That's what I'm hoping here. Nice vibes, huge congrats. Hulkling looks sweet. I obviously have not gotten to play with him, but he looks very good. You have 3 rank 4s, tons of rank 3, mostly upgraded defender chance for war, but I do have a wide variety of attackers. That's good. Yeah, finishing Abyss is huge for that as well. And it sounds like your biggest issue is Sig Stones. So Abyss will help on that, but that should also be your focus, I think, going forward. Is you probably need to think in there it is. Hold on. You probably need to think in terms of which prestige champions do I have? Sorry. Which prestige champions do I have? Which ones can I reasonably get in the near future? Do I have gems for them? How can I get stones? That's the way you move forward from there. Hey, Shibby, how's it going? Yes, Sarago, stats do get calculated differently when they go negative, I'm quite sure. Will I post the Masakre vs. Dragon Man fight? Yeah, that'll go up tomorrow for sure. The only question is whether I also do another glossary video and release that this afternoon. I think I probably will. I think the next one will probably be combat power rate versus ability power rate. Hey, X. And no worries, Lee. You don't have to apologize for asking questions. I mean, I do these streams to hang out, but also explicitly for that purpose. Two more Karinas, have two generic 6-star gems, lots of cats for rank ups, but I like to wait till I run it. Yeah. Sigs are big. So if you have 3 rank 4s, then are you at least are you maxing out Eternity of Pain this first run? The Wiccan's minus 900 physical resist, getting 75. Yeah, that honestly surprised me a bit as well. Hold on. All right, so let's take a look. So yeah, 942, negative 75%. That is definitely a surprise, right? Because if we compare that to somebody like Purgatory, actually, would be a good one. Where is she? I never feel like I'm bad at the alphabet until I come here and try and do this. There she is. Okay, so her energy resistance is 1467, so 15% higher in terms, or 50% higher in terms of raw numbers, and that's only 40%. So, yeah, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, there we go. So if we go and check this out, let's say 1000, 33%. Fine. What is minus 1000? Okay, so it doesn't give us an option for negative. Yeah. That's interesting. I thought that that allowed you to go negative. But let's take a quick look at so let's look at this. So for like crit rating, and this is the same basic function that like armor rating goes through, right? You have this number over 5 times challenger rating plus that number again plus 1500. And 1500 is just that base, right? So something has to happen when this goes negative. And I'm not entirely sure what. But my guess is that it's something about this right here canceling out this. So yeah, that has to be what it is actually, because God, is there any way for me to show a calculator? So if we just let's go ahead and copy that. Okay. So that gives us that same 0.38, so 38% as we expect. But what happens if we do negative and negative? That negative 1200 and that 1500 are going to cancel out to only 300, right? And so you see all of a sudden, this is now over 100%. This may not be exactly how it is factored, but especially because that's only a challenge rating of 80. If we start thinking in terms of like 130, you see where this starts happening, right? Like if this were only 900, there we go. There's Wiccan. So yeah, that's the thing. It's because this base number that's part of how challenge rating and diminishing return stats are calculated in the first place, because that then gets canceled out with the number itself. That's why negative stats are so much more powerful. Does that make sense? Okay, now I need to catch up on chat for a second. That was a bit of a rabbit hole. But yeah, I've had a good weekend, Chippy. Thanks for asking. Archangel Vision Penny. Yeah, that's part of your issue there, Lee. Two rank fours of the same class. It's already gonna hurt you. Vision and Archangel have pretty low prestige. So if you're trying to move up, my recommendation to you is put stones into Penny, get hers up. Maybe Archangel. I wouldn't sig up Vision for now. And make sure that your next rank up is one of these 15 if you can. Or maybe one of these 25. Because like you need that upper potential to balance out Vision. Penny's good. I think she's on the next page. Yeah, there she is. But like that's a real drop off. If we check over here, Penny 15644 as opposed to like some of these aren't that much higher, but then when you get into here, that's when you really start seeing it. So yeah, Penny is good. Penny is not a bad prestige rank. The other two are not helping you, and so I would try and find rank and sig up someone in the top 25 or at least 50 if you can. Hey Zed, should I rank Punisher 2099 to rank 5? I'm assuming you mean a 5-star. Yeah, he's good. I mean, it kind of depends on what you need out of your tech champions. And honestly, actually, I should put that asterisk. Assuming that he is duped and that you have Captain America Infinity War at a level that you like to use. Because I think that being able to go into overdrive very quickly is a huge part of his utility. He's still good without that, and I actually even found him pretty useful in Battlegrounds without that, because obviously he doesn't have access to the synergy there. But I think you at least want him to. Sure thing, Sid. Oh, man. Oh, I know, Saragos. It's a lot of extra damage. And it honestly, I wonder how much it was intentional. Whoops. I'm reading chat instead of playing. That's my fault. I did it again. Okay. Peripheral cues for his special 2 are not very reliable. Hey, Tommy, how's it going? Next rank forward is going to be Mr. Fantastic. I mean, Mr. Fantastic is, I think, just outside of the top 4, or top 50. If you put Sigstones into him, he's not really holding me back in terms of prestige. But, like, Doom is definitely a way to jump up. Yes. There's a reason he's such a popular rank 4. So, I mean, you can weigh that. Yeah, Sarah Ghost, I get what you mean. I don't mean I wonder if it's intentional that it's a significant uh, vulnerability. What I mean is I wonder if the 75% is. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, you said even with the shield up passive, but shouldn't that kind of have it? Because 550 seems like a lot. And you should be able to do that basically out of the gate. And as soon as you have 2 of those, then he has a small amount of positive physical resistance and a significant amount of energy resistance. I haven't gotten to play with him yet, but my suspicion is that it may not be quite as bad as people are saying. Okay, I'm checking out Cat's infographics. Oh, okay. This is not aimed at Cat. Hold on. Let me. I think I can do this on the other one. Yeah. Ah, there it is. Okay, so I've been switching over to Cat's infographics, this is what I mean. This is what I keep looking at. So unfortunately, this last one has 8 paths. And I have no idea which one I took last time. Because the map is locked. Which basically means that I'm going to have to blindly go to one of these 4 points and be ready to go down either chain. I think we're gonna start with Poison and Bleed, because that's basically what we already have here. But we are definitely gonna bring in Ronan over Guillotine 2099 because she is not pulling a whole lot of weight here. But I think with a Bleed Immune Purgatory and Nimrod, we can handle either of these lanes. But then, given that, I think I'm gonna drop regular Guillotine for House of X. Because Purgatory won't be able to use it on the boss, but both Ronan and Nimrod will. And that sounds pretty important. Oh, well, hold on. We can do this, Sarah Ghost. So, we were just looking at Wiccan. So, and let's adjust for rank 3. So 921, positive 53.7.5. So real quick, 921 minus 53.7.5 is 383.5. So this is Wiccan's vulnerability, almost exactly 75% when he just comes out of the box as a rank 3, and assuming he's facing a rank 3. So if we replace that, whoops, not that, with this, we get that with one shield spell, his physical vulnerability drops all the way to under 22%. That's pretty good. And then it becomes a positive 154 when he has 2 up. Whoops, sorry. I need to stop pressing extra buttons before I hit go. Okay, so then it becomes basically a 7% resistance to physical damage when he has 2 up. That doesn't seem too bad to me. It just basically means that you need that first spell. Alright, Karen. Can I ask you one more question? I'm stuck on Act 6, Mr. Sinister. Which champs you'll need for Act 6 completion? I mean, Act 6 completion is kind of a big question. I'm sorry, because that's... You're asking which champs do I need for 24 different bosses. And that varies so much based on which ones you currently have, what your skill set is, which synergies you have access to. Like, that's not a question I can quickly ask. Or that's not a question I can quickly answer on stream. And I understand why you're asking it that way, because a lot of people do, but that's, like, understand the scope of that question. Because you can do the entire thing with, like, Hercules, Archangel, Quake, Doom, right? But if you don't have any of those, then it starts changing. And it's like, maybe you can replace Hercules with Corvus. And maybe there's some other fight where you need a miscounter. So you need Corvus and Torch, but you don't have Corvus or Torch. So now you need to cover some of the armor break fights and the miscounter fights. And you see how it like starts spreading out like that? Like 20 rank 5s doesn't necessarily answer it. It's which rank 5s. Like that's my recommendation on planning for Act 6 stuff like this is know which champions are your best. Start working through it. And especially now, I mean, obviously we can't do it here because Act 5 has the locked cameras, which are stupid. But Act 6 now, you can see the exact abilities and nodes of the bosses before you start in the preview screen, right? So go to that, look at the bosses, and ask yourself, do I have an answer to that? If you don't, or if you're not sure if you do, then ask for specific help on that. If you don't have an answer to it, if people can't point out an obvious answer to it out of your 20 rank 5s, that's when you start ranking up new champions. That's my policy for ranking specifically for content. Because there are just too many variables to do it directly. That's not really something I can give advice on like that. I mean, his physical resistance with 2 spells is top 15 because almost nobody has base physical resistance, right? Like 7% isn't that much better than 0. But yeah, his energy resistance should be quite significant then, and he does have the healing. I think he's going to be okay. Something tells me the end result will be somewhat similar to Mojo, where he takes a lot of damage, but then he recovers enough of it that it doesn't feel that bad. Because people love to talk about how bad Mojo's block proficiency is. But if you're playing Mojo properly, you're healing so much that it's really not that big a concern. Hey, Bean, how's it going? Leftover pizza's better than when you first get it? That depends on the pizza, in my opinion. But sometimes it definitely is. Now, which of these two lanes do we actually want to take? Because this inflicts bleed, right? Yes. So bleed, then poison, then bleed, then poison. We're gonna have to take Mordo and Hyperion with Nimrod. Maybe I should have brought Overseer for those two. So maybe I take Biohazard this first time. Yeah. We're gonna go left. Alright. Don't hit his block. Hey, images. Probably a Sig 200 Ultron, right? Yep. Alright, so we're not going to use Nimrod. Woo! That was close. He has the recovery node too, doesn't he? But every time we hit him, he's healing for more than we're doing. So we just have to land all of these special twos. This is awful, but Nimrod would be just as bad, and these are the bleed immune champions that I have. This is the kind of thing that I'm talking about, where it's so difficult to give roster recommendations. Because this fight would look unwinnable. Many. Yeah, this one's tough. I think the special 3 is actually doing better for us here than the special 2. Because even with how strong the degen is, the special 2, especially with an armor breakup, is just doing so much damage we can't recover. I don't know, Lee. I feel it's... I don't like picking winners this early. I think Hulkling and Wiccan both look exciting. That's all I'm really comfortable committing to. Finally got Eternity of Pain done. Horrible AI against Blade. Sorry to hear that. He was annoying. Okay. Bravo, Purgatory. Don't give up. Yeah, Hulkling is a very good Penny counter. I think one thing that may be getting missed is my suspicion on why Hulkling is first. If I can go a little bit tinfoil hat here for a second, is that Hulkling is explicitly and obviously an amazing Penny Parker counter. We all know that. Dude, stop it! And, like, none of those freaking dexes are working. Ugh. Okay. But yeah, Hulkling is obviously a counter to Penny, who's very annoying right now. Hulkling is also going to be a very annoying defender himself in a number of ways, I think. And while we do have options, Hood, Tigra, Claire, Mojo, there's also the fact that Wiccan looks like he's going to be one of the best Hulkling counters. And so having Hulkling be out for a full featured life cycle and then releasing Wiccan when people are annoyed with him kind of allows them to fully capitalize on both. Inputs, OP Defender, Mark. Good. If it was an actual good defender, I just would have died there. Hey, Meta, how's it going? Is Hulkling better against Penny than Corvus? Depends on the node, images. Depends on the node. Because a charged Corvus in war with all like power backs and everything else, of course not. There's like almost nothing that can take Penny faster and more efficiently than that. But if your opponents have been very careful with Corvus charges, or if Corvus is outright banned, but let's just say they've been careful with Corvus charges and you can't get one before you get to Penny. Hulkling is a hard counter. Corvus tries to bypass her. If anything about the fight makes it difficult for Corvus to bypass her efficiently, Hulkling is a harder counter. Hey, Devil Dog. Best counter to Hulkling in the game at the moment? It depends on the node. That's like the beautiful thing about this game is that it depends. Because in certain circumstances, like Tigra's way up there, but it wouldn't take a lot for her to be a little challenged by things, and then maybe it's Hood, maybe it's Claire, maybe it's Mojo, maybe it's Rintra. Like it's any of those are in the lead for me, but I have trouble picking one. Every fight is messy. I think Amanda's had at least a couple clean ones. She's the Omega in my battle group, and she has a YouTube channel. Have you been looking at her stuff, Nani? I think I had enough Crossbones AI again for today. Yeah, man, I don't blame you. That's one to take little by little. Oh, let me XP boost. I should have done that earlier. Yeah, I think Ronin for this one. Let's go ahead and drop this, because he can get annoying. I'll link her channel in a second, Nine. It's still on the smaller side, so don't worry about that, but I believe she's had some really good takedowns there. And I'm assuming that you've checked out Slay's stuff, but I can't remember if his battle group at GT40 actually uses Omega there or not. Oh, Black Spike. Alright, 1 second. I'm sorry, I'm just checking what I assigned her in War 6 and 7. Okay, so it wouldn't be in there. War 3, maybe? Yeah. Thanks, Bean. Yeah, those are the channel links. I'm pinning this one because she explicitly, I know she took and soloed Man Thing with Omega Red that war. I forget how clean that one was, but she took it again literally today in War 8. So when that one goes up, that'll be another. Had some good luck with Mojo, a lot of hitting into his block. Yeah, yeah, it's quick and chaotic for sure. Angela's rank 3 Sig 140, very cool. Yeah, Lee, I think she's worth quite a bit. Agreed, Seraphos. Nice, Cyber, that makes sense. Dragon Man can also take Blade, just for the record, if that comes up. That's who I ended up using in this run. Okay, definite here. So Nimrod's going to have a real problem with that impart because it's going to be difficult to get around the debuff if he throws a special. But he will deal with Vigor well, so I feel like this is where we start. Oh, dang it. Throw? I don't know why it's not letting me freaking... Like, I did not drop my block there. Oh well. Nimrod can actually survive this? We'll see if he gets through the stun. Long stun. Come on. It is so chaotic. Block, block, wait it out. Wait it out. Yeah. It's not always after the special one, Cyber. It's every 7 seconds on an invisible timer, which, because of the flow of the fight, often ends up after the special one. But it's not. That's not actually how it's coded. Um. Yeah, which does make sense for backup for sure. Do I think they should buff this Ultron at some point? If they do, I imagine he makes his way to the sigil store. Electro fight the villain variant, enemy pulling my hair out. Can't number of times double swipe, dodge a special one. Oh, I don't think that's a dex fail, Max. Sorry to put that on you, but if you finish your combo against Electro, then his special one can just catch you because it's 2 hits in quick succession, and it's almost impossible to dodge up close. Like, that's not, if that's what happened, if you were finishing 5 hit combos against Electro, then that's not a dex fail. That's a, you should change how you fight Electro and not throw the final light or medium and then back off there. The same thing against Yellow Jacket. Hey Sim, how's it going? Thinking Jabari, Tiger Dragon Man. Okay. Yeah, that'll work, Saraghost. Have you made the Act 6 changes live yet? Yes, they have. And even Act 5 costs less energy now, which is another reason why I'm doing this. But they seem to have nerfed attack values, but actually buffed health values in parts of Act 6, which has led to some significant anger. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. No, absolutely not true potential. Agent Venom's new synergy should not be part of his base kit. I don't agree at all. That would not be remotely balanced. I think we just flat out drop Purgatory for this one. Sure thing, Max. And just to follow up on that true potential, like, also high. But the thing about Agent Venom is that, like, his damage now with the synergy team is pretty nuts. And it it might be too much, but it doesn't like outright offend me because it requires 2 synergy partners. That's a big commitment, especially in competitive places like War, where that's your whole team. If you can't take the other 2 fights with Craven and Scorpion, or the other fights on your path with Craven or Scorpion, then like he's your only attacker. That's a really big um, drawback. If you make that part of his base kit, then it's just like Nick Fury doing a rarer damage type. Like, God no. That's an exaggeration, but I think you understand what I mean. Like that level of damage. Yes, he has no utility, but it's like how good Masacre's damage is, but tuned up a little bit more in exchange for some RNG. And I think that's too much in the base kit. Then the synergy increases potency. But that would just be such a boring kit. I would rather him as a character actually be able to do something, not just like sometimes purify and sometimes bypass evade. Like there's no interaction. It's just sometimes when he crits, he places bleeds, and when that happens, he can also place incinerates, and he does a ton of damage. Like there's nothing to it. I think that would be a really disappointing buff if that's what they did. And that's also why I don't expect them to do that, because that's not how that's not how Kabam has operated anytime recently. Like, they could have made the community happy if they had just given, like, Psycho Man the ability to, or parts of the community, if they had just given the ability to, Psycho Man the ability to inflict shocks on his basics or something, right? That doesn't mean it would be a good or interesting buff, or that he would fulfill the niche that they want him to. No, see, that's the thing, True Potential. I philosophically disagree with what you said there, where you said if he's not getting a better buff, just do this for now. Because then if they do that, then people expect the final kit to have bleeds on crits and incinerates. And then that becomes something they can't take away. And now you have just put huge restrictions on yourself for his eventual actual buff. Like, I understand that you're kind of processing this as I want a usable character now. I don't care if it's like what he finally needs to be or if it's really that interesting, right? I feel like that's where you're coming from. But you have to understand from a game design perspective what Kabam is going for. Like that's very much not what they want to do. That makes their job harder in the long term. Like the closest analogy I can think of is that's like turning off your sink with a hammer. It may work, but that you're gonna regret it later. Yeah, Sim. Speaking of another 26, I pulled another on this Black Panther here yesterday. So I do understand wanting buffs soon. Don't get me wrong. He's not a hero, right? Okay, so no point in using that. We'll just have to play around it. so tired of Dexes turning into blocks. Didn't even use the cosmic mode there. I do hope the eventual Agent Venom buff is good. I think he's a very cool character. I just don't think that's the route doing it right. This is gonna stink. Please throw. Okay, that is peak Overseer right there. I mean, that half of it, sure, there it goes. Punishing failed evades does fit. I don't think that the bleeds necessarily are the right call there. Mainly because, like, you know, another skill champion that crits on bleeds doesn't interest me all that much. Nice, Cyber. Congrats. Yeah, that's fair, Saraghost. I do think that would be the way to look at it. It's like as much as Agent Venom is or as much as Anti Venom is a science version of Venom, uh, Agent Venom should be a skill version of Venom plus Spider-Man to some extent. Yeah, we'll see. How do you fight Icarus with Dragon Man? I don't know. I did that one with Tigra. um, I think basically you just make sure you don't push him to a special two. You probably want to get him cornered. It doesn't sound particularly fun because Dragon Man is not amazing against high power gain fights for that reason. It's hard for him to maximize his damage. That's actually why my instinct would be to use Scarlet Witch for that fight um, over Dragon Man. Might just use Claire. Yeah, Claire should be fantastic. Scarlet Witch or Claire both sounds better than Dragon Man to me. Oh, wow. Look at all these revives. Okay. I mean, I was planning to do this anyway, but we're definitely doing some hard stuff today. Oh, look at that. Now it's gone. I hate the locked maps. Hey, Manticore. It's going well. We're making progress. Haven't really had to use resources yet. Yeah, I agree, Pop Images. Dragon Man was quite good against Blade. On friend. Okay, Nimrod worked. I'm gonna try Ronan. Yes, this is Act 5. Okay, we need to make sure we get the Fury, and therefore we have to wait out that armor up. Because every armor up is going to reduce ability accuracy. Cannot have that. Hey, Cromwell, how's it going? I need to be more careful about these evades. Alright, we only needed one Fury. Bravo, Ronan. That was incredibly easy. Okay, let's pick another path. Okay, so we've done both of these. We saw that we had fulfilled the energy here, but that could have been from B or D. It's really hard to know. I don't know how we handle this all or nothing Ant-Man. We may have to revive there. Do I have any power control on my whole frigging roster? That's like Hope Mysterio works. Psylocke, actually. But it's Buffet Ant-Man. Oh my god. Yeah, Overseer has taunt if it lands. He does get by Buffet. That's probably the way to go. I fought an Ant-Man with some resistances the other day with Overseer, and it was miserable. He failed like 5 of my gammas. But I think the taunt doesn't go on cooldown until it triggers. I'm willing to bet that's not the path I did the first time, so it's at least safe to plan for it. Archangel with Buffet, that Overseer can easily take that. Kingpin with Buffet, Overseer can probably take that. Strife is also on the line. Yeah, I think we're mostly dealing with Overseer here. Taunt does work on all or nothing if you can land the debuff, yes. Okay, so definitely Overseer. That's kind of cool. Gamma when the opponent launches a special while taunted might come into handy, but or come in handy. Like it is only buffet 10%. So some of these I'm trying to weigh whether like Nimrod with House of X is still worth it against Kingpin, and I feel like it might be. So I think I want to hold on to him. Ronan was quite good there. So the question is, do I leave Strife on the team, knowing his miss can do some of this? Or do I bring a synergy for Overseer? I feel like I bring a synergy for Overseer. I think that's the one we're going to want. Sorry, I wasn't showing you all that. I think I'm going to use Red Skull, which is the Gamma when the opponent throws a special while taunted one. And welcome, Cope. How's it going? So it went well, Meta? Oh, did you post it online? I'll have to check that. Oh man, now I have to take Electro. I mean, I have expiring potions. I don't have expiring energy refills. So honestly, not that hard a choice. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so the power one is the other one we took. Okay, that is good to know because that means we just have the outer lanes then. I think I am going to use Nimrod on this first one because it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Yeah, I think that's our Kingpin counter right there. Imagine actually having to play these nodes. I feel a little guilty at the moment. Yep, see, no gamma on the first one. Love it. Okay, taunt lands, that's good. Of course not. Why would he throw that while taunted? That's just silly. Alright, not scared of Ultron anymore. Spending this one here. I really thought he would throw it. I did assign Joe, I think last war we sent him for a Sasquatch boss. Because Bryce had his usual Kingpin team and we didn't need Hood. Lansing Man. Joe a lane killer or a boss killer? Or either. Yeah, it's more that he's very good for the global. It depends on how you play him. Oh, I'm sorry. Stream just dropped, didn't it? But yeah, I would say Joe's fine for either. You just want good matchups for him, which generally means somebody who's not bleed immune. Very nice, Cyber. You're having a good run. That makes sense, meta. Oh, I timed it wrong, so I didn't get the energize. I wouldn't have pushed him yellow if I knew I wasn't going to get the energize. Row, please. Take it. On Wilson. There we go. Yeah, meta. The special one's very good. I'll have to check out the fight. Great against the Sasquatch mini boss in AQ. Very cool. Yeah, but like how helpful Overseer is for this lane here, especially for that Ant-Man, this is the kind of like breadth of utility that I'm talking about, which is why I haven't pushed to Thronebreaker on this account already. Mr. Negative. Tough one. I think Mr. Negative is stronger. But Joe is Defiance and has the defensive capabilities, like you said. The other thing about Joe is that more sustainable, if that's mattering to you and getting through content. Yeah. No worries, Cyber. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Feel free to bet, my friend. Oh, poor Gambit. You walked right into my trap. Hey, Domadeus. Come on, Meta. Don't be mean. I don't think I've thrown one in Titan all day. I'm also not quite as focused on staying alive as I am in AQ, or as I am in war. So there's some of that. Yeah, Domadeus. That's the only run I've done of Hulkling so far. Was with Mojo. Nope, didn't parry. Eater. I tend not to have real answers for that kind of question, Stover, because I said this yesterday actually. It's about the balance of what's on offer, not any specific thing. Like I'm hoping to probably pick up some rank 4 materials, but it depends on what else is there, what price point it's at. I would love to see maybe another generic. I would love to see a bunch of 6-star shards so I can open more feature crystals and hopefully pull somebody not from 2017. Gonna go ahead and knock on wood there because I feel like there's gonna be some karma sarcasm and I'm gonna get somebody from 2016. But yeah, it's all the balance. Hey, Larson. I'm willing to spend. It's very hard for me to know on what specifically ahead of time. I think we'll just do Ronin again, because that felt really easy. Yeah, that would be very tempting, Easy. I definitely have some 2021 champions I'd love to pick up. Yep, meta. Not a debuff. Oh, dang it, we're not going to make it as far this time. Nope. Alright, that's fine. I should have just held the special instead of throwing it out of desperation there. Because another special 3 definitely would have ended the fight. Oh, somewhere in there we turned off Vigor with ability accuracy reduction. I didn't even notice. But the timer wasn't there anymore. Ronan is legitimately a good answer for this fight. I think we take Rage next. Which means there's no reason to have Overseer. Probably bring Purgatory for the Nullify. Take a look. Okay. Oh, that's right. Maw is really good for Rage. Okay, let's hold on to him. Nice, Cyber, not bad. Why Joe is good? Because he can hit hard, he can heal, he has access to a ton of bleed damage, he has a pretty strong Petrify, and his kit is flexible. That's kind of the nutshell pitch. Alright. Let's start with Nimrod. Just cuz. Not because he's a good rage counter. My friend, do you mind? Okay. Yep, there are more Furies. Okay, but he didn't quite go unblockable, and it's done. Yeah, what DTM said, Domadeus. The unblockable. There's also, like, the shocks get paused on the special too, or whatever. I forget the exact interaction. So he gets a little bit more of the shock damage, and it makes it easier to refresh it, etc. But it's, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, I didn't quite get there. Hey, DTM. Yeah, easy. That synergy is super good for both halves, for both sides. Why did I do this? Anyway, it worked, so there's that. So are you just gonna farm some more Cyber? That definitely sounds like this is the run for you. Yeah. Oh, well. Gotcha. A lot of mediums register as lights today and vice versa. Cool. All right. This is where we bring out the maw. See how it might have sounded like that. Maw's just so good for these lanes. He does not need the dupe for attack. I have a rant on that. I will go into it in a second. Not even a little bit, Gabriel. Case in point. So the misunderstanding um, on Maw needing his Sig ability. I think I'm just going to keep Aunt May up in the background in general when I stream going forward, because this has been very helpful today. So the misunderstanding comes from this right here. When the opponent misses, they get this degen passive for 1 second, does 1400 damage. Yay, 1400 damage, right? Okay, but his missions, when they inflict the degen, this is the one that you're used to running into when he's on defense. 11,000 damage, an order of magnitude more. Now, those only happen once, but the special 2 can do up to 9 of 4,500. So more than 3 times as much on the special 2 or each degen, and it will do a minimum of 3. So you're looking at basically 10 times as much of one of these passives every time you throw the special 3, if you line it up properly, it can be up to 3 times that. So 30 times as much damage as one of these triggers. And again, that's at Sig 200. It's significantly less at low Sig. So yes, that can just happen whenever they miss. And they can miss potentially more often. Like, you don't have to line up the special 2, right? Except I'm pretty sure it doesn't even stack, it just refreshes. Like, this just isn't that much damage. You can only get so many of these misses within a single falter. It's never going to be a primary part of your damage output unless you are like cheesing guaranteed crits, and even then, the special 2 is probably going to do more damage. Because remember, one good special 2 is 30 misses at Sig 200. That's how I think about it. And so this just doesn't matter. It's fine. I get a little bit extra damage out of my rank 3 being at Sig 20 or 40 or whatever it is on my main account. I actually think this second part is more important because Falter completely turns off auto block unless you're facing like Penny Parker or Force of Will. And he gets extra power rate. So like at Sig 20, when you power steal, like when the opponent comes in because they're faltered, they miss, you throw a heavy, you get 15% more power from that. That's pretty cool to me. The damage is fine. I think that's one of the most common misconceptions about Ebony Maw, and it's just not true at all. Sunday arenas. Yeah, I view the Sunday arenas as ISO arenas. They're still helpful sometimes. See, like, we got 6 off of that one, and it was not perfect. Or, sorry, we got 5. See, this is even without lining it up. That's just gonna be better. Yeah, Maw is an amazing two-way in Battlegrounds, and you do not need the SIG. I definitely do it, Gabriel. Because that's the other thing, is that, like, even on defense, your opponent probably isn't going to be missing constantly, because your opponent is probably not going to be dumb enough to bring in Corvus or Moleman and go into Frenzy. Every time I've run into that, they have just quit out of the, the matchup. And so if you assume that your opponent's probably only going to miss once or twice, then most of the damage is going to be that 11,000 from the first time they miss completing a mission, not from how high the SIG is. So even defensively, I don't think it matters. That got a little messy towards the end, but he's just super in control for these fights. I see a revive over here, so I guess that's where we're going. I understand, Cyber. For me, I'm a bit salty that I didn't solo Blade with Jabari. I had him at like 30%, and I got hit with a special one that I know I got the evade right. Oh well. That's what expiring items are there for, and I realize sure items are not expiring. But you know, they'll come back. Hey, Grinfeld. I'll admit to you all full up. A couple of these pauses are me muting for a second and grabbing a handful of chips. Because I kind of want to finish this chapter before I eat. But I also don't want to get hangry. Oh, man. Would like me when I'm hangry. I don't think anybody likes me when I'm hangry. I get pretty pointed. I'm Cavalier, yeah. But I'm doing Act 5 because if I finish this quest right here, I get 2 5-stars and a 5-star Awakening Gem, and hopefully that's a significant amount of extra breadth for pushing further in Act 6. What are expiring items? Yeah, Bean, I'm really glad that they gave us a bunch of time for this last one. I really feel like that was the right move. There's so much on the line. Yeah, I'm exploring. Dang it. Almost got that off before the regen kicked in. I mean, it'll still do good damage, but I think that's why we didn't get him down in one Passive Fury last run. So we may not this time either. We'll see. Also being a little... Alright. Bravo, Ronan. Yeah, I would definitely recommend you do it. Because, like, I'm only doing this one chapter for now, but, like, there's some real stuff in Act 5. And if you don't have other content to do, then... I mean, I wouldn't do this over a lot of other content. But if you've done the other content, it's rewards, and it's not arena. Okay. Next path. So, we've taken both of these, and this. So, Resistor. Yeah, that sounds good. This little bugger is going to take forever. Because some of these I can bleed out. Yeah, that's going to be annoying. I'm trying to think. I think the Maw I have at rank 4 as a 5-star is better than this Guillotine. But I don't know. Guillotine might actually be better for that A-bomb especially. Give it a shot. Yeah, exactly, Gridfeld. And tier 4 basic and some 6-star shards is always a good thing. Or tier 5 basic. So let's just see how Gilly feels against this. Because adaptive and resistor means we are going to do, like, literally nothing on our basics. But the degen will get around. Alright, I'm gonna be focused here for a second. Not going to be quick, but the idea for this fight is to make the abomination less painful. Because all of that energy resistance would just completely hamstring Nimrod. Wow. Glad I threw all those heavies. That block just didn't work. Alright, but that, I'm not gonna regret that come the next fight. I'm sorry, what the absolute what? Look at those biggest hit numbers. I know it's an auto KO, but I didn't realize that an auto KO meant 11 billion damage. 2 more paths after this one, Timo. Huge congrats, Cyber. That's awesome. Really happy for you. And yeah, I have seen the new Batman movie. I enjoyed it. Not my favorite movie of all time. I don't think I'm quite on the same page as some people thinking that it was like, super high art or something. But I had a good time. I enjoyed it. Would recommend it. Hey, Mad Dog. How's it going? Much, much faster. Congrats there. Hey, MSD, how's it going? Yeah, easy for sure. Especially when you have 93 stashed level 2 potions to heal your 4 stars. I don't think it's a good idea to use her against Hulkbuster for a number of reasons. So Purgatory, going for the degen, I believe should be the way here. The armor breaks work out well. I mean, you guys have seen me take Hulkbuster with Purgatory like 2 or 3 times today, so. Yeah, I think it's fair to say this was the correct. Farming ISO. I didn't know the name of your ult. It's funny. Clearing Cav on the main. Nice. Yeah, I may do some Cavi Q later on. 2 more paths to finish up chapter 4 of Act 5 for this account. Open a couple 5 stars. Maybe awaken our Overseer. And I'm not going to do all of Act 5 before moving on. But then I start making the push towards Thronebreaker. You can see, got to level up a bit, but that's okay. Might need to make some mastery decisions at some point too. AQ is relentless easy. Again, feel free to skip a bit. Really not a big deal. Yeah. The pity the stability function doesn't include the direct damage from her combo being over 100. That'd be pretty sweet. But that's okay. Excuse me. Okay, let's just go. Yeah, if I get to that point, I'll definitely do that, so I appreciate the tip. I'm just trying to get there while also exploring things. For the, for the other rewards. Because, like, 4 stars matter a ton for this account, for actually having ISO. As you understand if you're doing that. I think I'm missing a couple mastery points as well. I know it's 3 hits, but unless I'm actively focusing on it, I'm not used to punishing his special one just yet. Doesn't quite feel like it's done. And I forgot about that. Thank you for the combo shield. I completely forgot as I'm talking about his special one being different. Throw that. Oh, that's right. There's only the one from the node, because his is gone now. Oh, cool. Are the Eternity of Pain rank formats half of each for Thronebreaker? Yeah, I believe so. Yes, those numbers look like half to me. Because I believe it's 45,000 for T3A. That's actually a clean number. And then the weird, like, 57,000 for T6. Which I believe is double that. It was not 11 billion this time. It was only 4 billion. Guillotine is slipping. I don't feel like being surprised. Who is it? Oh, Civil Warrior, that's right. Then Purgatory again, I believe. I love how the weakness shows up for a split second when we throw the special because he's blocking and then he's not. That would be huge easy. Yeah, if once she had the soul, you could actually use her other utility. That would be really interesting. It might be too much. Because her starting at 100 spamming special ones shuts off an awful lot of difficult content. But that would be interesting. I'm just gonna use Nimrod here because he's big. And Rhino annoys me. Timing the special ones correctly today. Unfortunate. Carry you. How much? Not a lot. Okay, if that would come. Still significant. Like a fourth of what it normally is. So resistor caps at 75%? I would have thought it was higher. There it is. Yeah, it is illusion. Oh well, I was envisioning it as a synergy easy, but that's still a lot. That sounds like something that if I were at Kabam, I would create like a phantom character with that synergy and go test it and like try and decide, is this broken? 'Cause I don't know. Off the top of my head. Ah, dang it, I did it again. Any energy refills in here? Nope. All right. Oh wow, we're approaching 1,000,000 loyalty on this account. She'll be nice and quick on this Iron Fist. We're not going to use her for Ultron, so might as well use her here. It's interesting seeing the actual hits do the damage they're supposed to as well. And we'll burn it. We don't need it. Well, but Illusion, even the energy vulnerability only applied to one of them, and then we got a few more ticks. And like normally, Nimrod's shocks have been doing somewhere in between like 2 and 3,000, depending on how many armors we have, and it was still showing up as 600 for a lot of those. So somewhere in the realm of 75 to 80, maybe even 85, but it's not 90. I think it's, yeah, it's like 75 to 80. It's not 90%, and I thought it got that high. Clearly not. Yeah, Cyber, that's not bad. That's better than a lot of numbers I've heard. A big congrats on getting it done, man. Dang it. I just knew that was gonna happen. I saw him like stutter stepping. You know when you just feel the game is about to do something silly? That hurts. That really hurts to see. Just knowing you could have sequenced your paths differently. Small screams. Alright. Yeah, easy. I'm glad you're making progress on him. Bishop is annoying. A good question, Crom. One I definitely intend to ask the minute I have somebody listening who might have the power to change it. Just got her from last month's caps. Nice, yeah. Claire is super worth ranking. She's just so good. She was one of my MVPs for a lot of Act 6. Which is a weird way of saying she was one of my MVPs for Act 6, but sometimes I overqualify myself. You hold Bishop for 20 minutes. Been there, man. Doing 3 hits. We actually want the defensive one a few times. Whoa. Not cool, bro. Alright. That should be it. That makes sense, Easy. You probably should have tried to finish with a special, too. Just built up to it. I'm sure you know that. Whoa, what? I didn't realize the armor was that strong. Alright. Yeah, work and slay. I wasn't even paying attention. Alright, well, we've soloed it enough. Not like I have any pride on the line. Is I-Bomb worth rank 3 without the dupe? Yeah, I definitely think so, Prakar. I-Bomb is fantastic. I have assigned unduped I-Bombs in war. I've definitely talked to other people outside of Tier 1 who use him unduped all the time. You just have to be aware of how it can change the rotation, and that's about it. Okay. Back to picking paths. So we have 2 left. Bane, of course, that's one of the ones we have left. Okay. Man, they love their stun immune Hyperions in Act 5, don't they? That's like the... Yeah, there's literally 2 on this map. There's 1 on the last map, too, I think. Okay, well, Purgatory can still handle him. Definitely bringing House of X again to control Black Panther. Purgatory can handle Captain Marvel. Do we have a slow champion for Juggernaut? Let's go look. Like, I have a 4-star Spider-Gwen, but she's not gonna hold on very well against Bane. So you're out. Oh, Strife can work. But ideally, we would want Guillotine on the team. Because it's really hard to build charges against Juggernaut without... No, it's just hard to build charges against Juggernaut. Like, I don't know that Overseer would be any faster. He's pretty good against Type 2, though, so maybe we bring him. I feel like that makes more sense than a 4-star Spider-Gwen against a Bane lane. You know, actually, I'm going to take the Vigor lane because this small refill respawned in the same spot. If the large refill did, then I want to grab that. We'll see. Not excited for the Brawl Limberlane. Oh yeah, that was pretty. That was very unfun. I remember that one. My guess is Illusion that Annihilus is solid for Bishop just because whatchamacallit, just because his method of doing damage isn't energy dependent. Or at least, I guess, isn't very. I really don't know. I'm a little curious. Yeah, Nimrod for Goblin for sure. Goblin. Oh, I regret throwing the special one. Okay. Purgatory for the next one. I really wish we'd been able to stun our way past a couple of those. Oh, I didn't mean to throw that inside. Oh, that should do it. It brought again. Just built for this lane. That's very funny, Sarah Ghost. Yeah. I can't remember when, but I feel like sometime in the last 6 months, I forgot and taunted a Nihilus as well. That, or I was like going over a fight with somebody else who was wondering what happened. I There's no need to throw the special one in this one. It was a waste in the last fight. Is Purgatory only Incinerate immune? Yes, Cyber. No bleed immunity, no poison immunity. Definitely one of the more annoying things about her. I'm gonna use Overseer here, not because Nimrod wouldn't work. Purgatory probably wouldn't. Regen would be doing us a lot of favors, but just out of curiosity. Yeah, that works. It is really fun to get him rolling. Biggest reason I want to get him awakened. It's still there? Yes! Alright. Thanks, Visual. I appreciate it. Yeah, easy. The closest is Ghost, and she's basically cheating. So if Ghost and Quake are your answers, then no, there aren't really any hard counters. There are a bunch of great counters that counter most of his kits, but I'm gonna need you to throw that. I don't want to eat a special 3. He didn't have time to get up and throw a special if we had pushed him red, but that just wasn't a gamble I wanted to take. You saw it was pretty close. I mean, Overseer was mostly nuts in the power snack meta. He was okay beyond that. Not bad, but I don't think exceptional. He was more of a niche counter, like, somebody put down Claire, etc. Um, trying to think. Obviously, I don't have my main account in front of me right now. I mean, Negs was one who I knew was good, but like I really got to learn him in Battlegrounds. Joe is way up there. Again, enjoyed him. Battlegrounds is why I ranked him. He's very, very good. That's science. I don't know about Made Me Appreciate because I don't have them, but Battlegrounds definitely has me wanting. Well, I don't have them ranked. Battlegrounds has me wanting to rank Crossbones more. Definitely took Jabari up in my eyes. I already liked her, but she's fantastic in there. Again, not for me, but Toad, Havoc, both solid for a lot of people. I was definitely sleeping on how quickly Doc Ock could kill in some of those metas. I lost a few matches to him. Guardian I already loved. War Machine and Punisher 2099 both went up a little bit in my eyes, just for like being fairly flexible. Surfer. Surfer, I've always liked Surfer. He was significantly better in Battlegrounds than I thought he was going to be. That's probably it for me, because I already liked Tigra and Hood and such. Basically illusion. Like almost that. Because you could like you can have damage over time. It just cannot be bleed, incinerate, or shock. There's nothing wrong with dealing like rupture to Bishop. And so that is still on the table. Or Degen. Both of those are good. That's why Ultron's solid for him. And if you have any trouble removing prowess, or if you have any limitations on removing prowess, then being able to block unblockable specials and do it while taking very little damage, like say Guardian potentially can, but his isn't perfect, also becomes important. Or being able to cause miss. Like there are a number of ways to get around him. It's not that there's only one possible combination of hard counters. It's that out of the several combinations that exist, we don't have one. Yeah, like Bishop can be poisoned too, but off the top of my head, the only tech champion with access to poison is Mysterio, and he applies it with energy attacks. So not really what we're looking for. Let me double check. Am I forgetting a tech champion? Oh, technically Goblin can apply poison, but let's be real. That's not real. Lab Ultron can apply poison. Again, not serious suggestion. Yeah. Okay, so two meme champions and Mysterio, who unfortunately does energy damage. Yeah, I'm seeing the delay in chat. Uh, by which I just mean like, yes, we're on the same page. Hold on. Let me go ahead and click out. I'll do another small refill. Wasn't intending to stream for 3 hours, but I really want to finish this. Love that perfect block chance. That was a good. Yep. So clean. And this is a bleed immune champion. Like, I know it's not the hardest fight in the world, but I just Ronan is really more flexible than he gets credit for. Oop. And that's what conditional purify is for. Although I would really love to not be getting hit at all. But that is on me. Like that wasn't inputs or anything. I was at a correct distance, but not quite the one I was used to. Dang it, I forgot to do it. And so that's what that issue. He's playing. Probably doesn't do enough damage. I should have countered with a combo, gone into Rampage, and then thrown this, and it would have killed him 100%. Okay. Whew, that one was close. That's about the damage distribution of that special 3. So that was exactly as much as we needed. It's like Eternity of Pain remind me I'm still an early Thronebreaker player. There is a real um there's a real spread in all of the progression titles for sure. We got into a bit of an argument in one of the line chats I'm in the other day because somebody was saying I don't understand why there are two um Paragon only peak milestones. Like who could have three rank fours but not have all of the answers to Eternity of Pain to get the maximum points? Who could possibly have three rank fours but not have enough, or but also have enough, excuse me, holes in their roster that they feel like they have to leave points on the table? And it was none of us in that room, but the answer is a real number of Paragon players. It does happen. What? I hit a medium after his special one and nothing happened. That one was on me, but now I'm flustered. Alright, well, we have all those expiring tier 5 potions for a reason. Still trying to get your first rank 3 to get Thronebreaker? Yeah, I hope you get a good one soon. Yeah, I hope your next run is cheaper, but at the same time, Cyber, like, things like Abyss make you a more consistent player. So don't worry too much about having it all figured out before you head in. Alright, I'm gonna try Overseer here, because why not? I don't know what that ATM. We don't really need him for stuff later, so it's not the end of the world. And you saw how many of these we have expiring. I'll just use one. I think that makes sense, Easy. Because at this point, with how content works in the game, you can definitely get Thronebreaker without ever developing certain skills. It's not like when it first came out. Favorite Special 3 animation? It might be Purgatory's, honestly. Like there are a lot of good ones, but the way that she changes grip on the sword as she like uh, plunges down and like twists it, it's so savage. I love it. Going back to the milestones, we have a player who'll get the second one. He became Paragon after the first week. That makes sense, yeah. Which is like something you want to be able to happen. Like you still want to reward people who get that. Yeah, that totally makes sense, Cope. Well, I still don't like Bane, but you know, when our inputs are working properly, it's manageable with this roster for sure. Ultron's is pretty intense, yeah, Cyber. All of the symbiotes ones? Yeah, I suppose so. Minus Venoms. Yeah, I'm pretty sick of that one, honestly. It was cute the first time. Wasn't bad the next 20. I'm pretty over it. right, physical resistance. I didn't even think about the fact that Overseer is actually a pretty bad matchup for Carnage. Like, you could mitigate it by, as he's about to gain the new buff, you hit into his block instead, so that he gets block proficiency and not physical resistance, but it just wasn't on my radar. Mr. Negative, Null, and Strife. Yeah, they're all pretty good. Strife's a little bit less for me. It's a little bit too over the anime line. Like, a lot of them are, but that one, wow, it was really there again. But that one, it's like, by the time we get to the fourth lightning bolt, you're like, okay. Or at least I. Nimrods and Airwalkers are both very cool. I do like theirs, yeah. Very confused on Strifes just because there's so much going on. I really want that armor not to be there. Just not a... I was just chasing the dream of the perfect one last time. Joe's is great. Always liked that one. Nope. Tried to block there. Okay. Adrenaline. on, help me. Okay, that'll give us enough to parry, and we just need to land a few hits. Or not. This time the armor didn't do anything? Okay, it must have been a different armor last time. Ancient Venoms is very silly. Alright, Chapter 4 explored. Hope it's a 5-star. No. Alright. Didn't really need to use items on. I just did revive one. But yeah. A good clear. So that would be awesome. Okay. Not upset about a Venom dupe. More ISO to rank him. I think at Sig 20 it makes his buffs 8% stronger if I remember correctly. Not upset. Slightly more annoyed. I'm gonna check the scaling on it in a minute to figure out how annoyed, but I think Red Hulk or Killmonger might have been better. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and open these. Do we get any 3-star dupes? Then maybe we can open it. Nope. Oh, I actually have a couple of these. Maybe I'll do that last. Can you get a dupe? Nope. Alright, let's see what we open here. Oh, when did I get a legendary crystal? I don't remember this. It's probably going to be a 4-star that I don't have, so nothing, but at least a good 4-star. Maybe there will come a time where I feel like I should actually rank him. Okay, this is what we're here for. Oh, Alliance War milestones. Thank you, Cyber. That is not what I'm hoping for. I think the only champion that can realistically go towards is like Maw, who I was just explaining to everybody doesn't need it. But I'll take a look real quick. All right, let's go ahead and open. What pool do I want on this? Aegon, a 6-star Aegon 2 would be insane for this account. I think I would just level him up and head into Labyrinth and call it a day. um, this is a pretty good one. Even on the 5-star level, a dupe for the Punisher that we just got would be amazing. Okay, that one's quite good. This is, of course, the one that has Hercules in it. Also has Void. As an Overseer, maybe we'll open a bit of both, but I think I'm actually leaning to the first. Yeah, Illusion, me too. What do we get? I love I love doing this with calves. Thinking about who we can get, who we want, and then not even getting ISO. Alright, let's just open a single 4-star, see what's up, because level up is on. Hey Shibby, yeah, we just finished chapter 4 of Act 5, so it's been a long one today. Alright, not ISO. All I really care about. Okay, so 4 level up. We can try and max Domino. Let's take a look at my 5-star Mystics. Okay, yeah, so my only option is Maw. I think I'm going to be holding that one for a while. Like I said, Maw doesn't need it, and if I use it on him, and I don't think I would really want to pull Doom on this account, but if I use it on him and then grab like a Voodoo or a Mojo or a Rintra or a Hood or a Tigra or a Wong, like any of those would make me very sad I used the gem. I'm just gonna hold that. How far off are we on taking Venom up? Okay, we need a lot of T2A. That's we don't have access to that. Technically we can do it. How far off are we over here? Hmm. I don't want to go for it because Venom is just so good in a lot of this stuff. Oh, duh. Before we do this, let's open some AQ crystals. To anyone who this is starting to bore, who starts to filter out, I just want to thank you for hanging out this long. I like thinking about this stuff, like what move am I going to make with my account next, but I will understand if you take off, and so thank you so much for chilling today. I've had fun. Let's see, what do we get here? A little bit of T2A, that helps. That helps a lot. Because we also need another um, Cosmic T4CC, right? Okay, so that's very nice. Which we are nowhere close to forming, so we may actually open some of those T4CC crystals. Oh, there we go. Never mind, that was a full one. Okay, so we have the T4CC. Made a little bit of progress. Yeah. I think I need 2 more. It's okay. This is literally what the glory is there for. That's the only reason I care about AQ on this account. That and not reloading off of. Alright, Venom to rank 5. Third rank 5, I think. Although actually I don't want to. I think we want to use the generic on Domino, so go ahead and hit go on that, and then we'll head back to it. Yeah, Venom is very, very good. You got 15 T2A and overflow. Whew. Hope you find a way to use them, but I appreciate the thought. Want to rank 3 read but don't have any gold? Gold is a problem. Maybe I should have kept the basic for him. Woo! Well, that's helpful. Alright, what do we got on the basic side? A thing like that. Yeah, it's from the friendship rewards and incursions easy. Like Shivy said. This is why ISO is so precious on this account. You're starving for tier 2 basic easy? It surprises me. That's one that you can farm fairly reliably on the dailies, right? Alright, so this is where our top champions sit for now. These 5 6 stars are rank 2, and these 3 5 stars are rank 4, and then Maw is rank 4, and Falcon is rank 3. It's coming along. I'm not gonna worry too much more about, like, I'm not gonna use off-color ISO. This stuff is all far enough out. I would regret that if I end up taking Falcon up later or something. I'll just leave him not maxed. So I'm definitely taking a break here, but I think next we start working our way through through Act 6. Because completion here, that's going to be a lot of fun. If that's a skill, we can use that on Falcon. And actually, will allow us to open another 6-star. That's awesome. I don't know why I keep closing out. Another 3 to 4, and is this one a 4 to 5? No, that one's 2 to 3, but that's still worth resources. And then chapter 4 would obviously be amazing. Bunch of 5-star rank up resources, which, as we saw today, actually does matter. And then completion of the act. That part doesn't matter as much right now, but all of this other stuff. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, T2A. Yeah, I obviously am on this account, but man, on my main, it's like all I pull from the Paragon dailies. So I just wanted to check this out of curiosity because even as we start getting some selectors, who do we work on? I'm thinking it's probably going to be Mutant, and we take up Strife. But I don't know because I would kind of prefer to rank 3 Ronan or Nimrod here. Strife doesn't really need to be a higher rank. Could do something crazy and like take up Domino. I'll think about that. Because we also may pull some other stuff from the randoms as we go. Yeah, easy. The gates being gone is gonna be absolutely tremendous for me. It's actually letting me use my 6 stars on those lanes where, I mean, yeah. Because if we filter by just 5 stars, look how weak this gets, how quickly. I would be completely screwed. And we lose out on a couple champions that we use today just by cutting out 4 stars. We lose our Nick, our Guillotine 99. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this is going. I'm annoyed with you, Shibby. I don't know if you saw the last two feature crystals I opened on my main, but they were bleak. All right. Thanks everyone for hanging out. This was a really good stream, especially for a Sunday. If I get some time, I think I will do another glossary video today because this one shouldn't be that complicated. I'll definitely have a war video dropping tomorrow. Until then, take care, everyone. Oh, just to answer you, Shibby, real quick. I got my second dupe, not my first dupe, on Black Panther Civil War, and I pulled a new Invisible Woman. That one I'm less angry about, but the SIGs on BP. Thanks for that shout, Coat. I'll try to keep that in mind for sure. With yeah, I'll keep checking in on these. That's a really good piece of advice. Appreciate it. All right, take care, everyone.